Hello, everybody. It's Jamie Green, the Solar Queen. It's Tuesday, October 27th, I believe. Can't believe it's the 27th already. Yep, October 27th. And we are I am live, not we. I am live. I wanted to come on really quickly to talk about the solar, everything regarding solar and what's happening with the federal tax credit if you go solar in 2020 versus 2021. So I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know that, people are so many people have gone solar in 2020, and the summertime was like this huge hit for the need for solar. By the time people get to summertime and they start seeing their utility bills starting to go up, they start thinking, oh, I should get solar because it's sunny and my utility bills are going up. By the time you get to that point and you start looking into solar, so have everyone, like everybody else has done the same. So I'm experiencing a large volume of solar inquiries, which is a good thing. But what it's done across the industry and across the state, especially in California, it's caused, numerous delays because there's just so much demand and not enough installers to be installing all the solar projects. So a big driving factor for that has been the 26% federal tax credit that you can, if you qualify, you can get 26% of the total cost, dollar for dollar, of your solar system covered in the form of a tax credit. I am not a CPA, I'm not a tax accountant, but I have helped enough homeowners go solar and ourselves to go solar to understand how it works and how you qualify for it. And so the way you qualify for it is if you have enough tax liability to go solar, enough tax liability that covers the 26% cost of your system. So say a system, I am going to use round numbers because, again, being live, I have a really hard time doing math like at the top of my head. So say your system costs, $50,000. Just for a round number. That 26% of that cost is, $13,000. So if you have a solar system that costs $50,000, you would be eligible for $13,000 of a tax credit. So that's 26% of $50,000. I'm just going to double check my math. So $50,000 times 26%. Yeah, $13,000. So what that means is $13,000. Hey, Justin, it's a great incentive. When it does expire at the end of the year, and it looks, it's kind of crazy. So this applies to residential and commercial solar projects, which I am able to help you do both if you're a business owner and you're watching this, or if you're a homeowner and you're watching this. But the 26% federal tax credit, that is for 2020. There are different, rules of thoughts on what qualifies for the, the 26% federal tax credit, meaning it doesn't mean construction has began, or it doesn't mean that the solar system's in operation. There are this is a big gray area, but if you finance your solar system, which I have access to financing for homeowners who are interested in solar, this applies to now and next year and the year after that and whatnot. But the reason why, the urgency is built in, is that the solar financing companies, beginning November 1st, they are only going to be providing your monthly payment quotes or fixed monthly payments for the first 18 months. And then after that, it, depending on if you get the tax credit, qualify for it, and apply it to your loan, then your monthly payment will stay fixed factoring in the 22 or 26% federal tax credit, whichever you decide. But it's based on time. It's like time sensitive, because what is it? I think that's 4 days from now. So I've been emailing all of the people. 4.5 more days left I've been emailing and reaching out to all the people that have contacted me about solar this year, and not to put pressure on them, but to say, hey, if you want to save that 4% and be able to get it to cover the cost of your solar system, and to fix in the lowest possible monthly payment with the 26% factored in, you need to get moving, because we've got to get started, because there's really essentially 2 more months left of construction to happen, at least to start. So yeah, that's a gray area. Some CPAs, tax accountants might say, nope, it has to be operational by December 31st. And some may say, no, as long as a majority of construction has happened and PTO happens fairly quickly after the solar is installed, after the beginning of the year, it's a gray area. And truth be told, the tax form that you fill out, it's one line. It's like one line, the amount that you spent, and then obviously 26% less, and then you find out what your tax credit is, the amount that your tax credit is. So what's happening though is the solar lending companies are going to be moving away. They're phasing out the 26% federal tax credit when you get your proposal, and if you decide to move forward, they're now at beginning November 1st going down to the 22% federal tax credit, which means you're going to see a little bit, 4% more on your solar payments. So I just wanted to come on. This is not just for me in particular. If you are watching and you're working with someone else, I'd like it if you worked with me, but if you are working with someone else and you are kind of on the fence and you need to make a decision, I would encourage you to make a decision and go back to your, I actually have quite a few CPAs that I do want to work with and help homeowners, connect them with them. So take action, just take action and make a quick decision, because solar is going to save you money and you're going to lose out on 4%. I mean, it's 4% that you're leaving on the table if you don't make a decision between now and November 1st. So that was really the urgency of my message, was so that you can get the maximum federal tax credit for your solar system. This, a lot of people ask, well, how do I qualify for it? You just have to have tax liability that exceeds the tax credit amount. And that is, something to discuss with your CPA. Find out or your tax accountant, what was your tax liability, or what is your anticipated tax liability. And if you can't get it all back in year one, like next year when you file your taxes, it can be spread out over the next 5 years in particular. And all that means is if you're financing it, if you can't come up with the 26% or the 22% next year and apply it to your solar lending, to the funding, the loan re-amortizes at month 18, which just means if you don't have the full amount to go towards it, it's just going to bump up to the higher payment, which is 100% of the cost of the solar system in the form of a monthly payment for the rest of the term of your solar loan. And even then, oftentimes it's going to be less, especially in California, it's going to be less, hopefully less than what you're paying to the utility company, which you're already used to paying monthly out of pocket, with you have to keep your lights on. So that's how the solar, I hope that really makes sense. If you have questions, please feel free to comment on this video when you watch it. But that's really essentially how the tax credit works when it comes to getting your solar system installed. It can include your main panel upgrade if you have an old main panel that needs to be upgraded, because it needs to be brought up to code and for safety purposes. I have customers who re-roofed, and they included the cost of the re-roofing in with their solar financing. There's some criteria and limitations for that, of course. But they are going to be getting their roof covered with the tax credit as well, because they are including it with their solar, and they had to re-roof to get solar installed. It can apply to trees that cause shading on your roof. If the shading and the trees will cause the shading and not allow your solar system to produce all the energy that it needs, if you trim them back, or if you we don't want to take trees out, but if you can trim them back, you need to maintain that tree line level. But that also can, go towards your federal tax credit, be included towards your federal tax credit. The cost of that is also something that can be included. There's lots of things. Majority of it's going to be the main service panel and the tree trimming and the roof, and it all has to be within the limitations and criteria. Oh my goodness. Sorry, guys. I keep getting these email notifications and it's like really playing with my screen. But yeah, so those are some really big ticket things that can be included in the federal tax credit. It's all in the tax, the incentive, the IRS publication for the requirements to go solar, to get the tax credit. Do you offer some of the cool panels that look like your roof? I'm assuming, Justin, that you're talking about the roof, the shingles that are solar panels. I don't have those products available to me. I really need to do research on it. There's only like 2 houses that I have seen that have those in there. And I'm curious how they work and what the, how it converts the DC, which is direct current energy, into alternating current, which is the energy that's used in your home. So like right now, my computer, my lighting, my microphone, everything, my kids playing their iPads right now, it's all powered by the sun right now as I'm recording, talking live about solar. But I'm not sure how it works. And so because I don't know and I don't have the product to offer, I don't offer it. But I do know that there are some companies that do that. They look really cool, but I would be worried about what happens when, if one of those panels, those shingles doesn't work anymore, I just don't know enough. So I can't speak to that. But they do look pretty cool, I have to say. I just don't know how efficient they are and how many you would need. So when it comes to solar panels, though, I can do all that and figure it all out for the homeowner based on their usage over the last 12 months, or business owner, what they've been spending over the last 12 months. Yeah, substance over style. I think I would prefer having modules on my roof over shingles, because what if the shingle in the middle of the roof stops working and stops producing energy? Like, I would prefer knowing like the exact source and the path of least resistance, or without having to rip up your roof and re-shingle it. So, or re-roof it with a solar powered shingle. So it's a really cool concept. I just would think it would be much, in my mind, I would prefer like the actual panels on my roof, because they get, actually, people wonder, do they get like secured and fastened right to the shingles and to the roof? But the truth is they're installed and on mounting racks, and then they lay down and get affixed and everything. So to me, that just seems less invasive than actually putting in solar shingles. So let's see. That is all I wanted to say was, if you are considering it, if you're on the fence, if you haven't, reached out to your solar consultant, or if you're thinking about it, I mean, I don't want to rush you into decision, but 4% of money, depending on how much your solar system costs, it could be $100 savings, or it could be $1,000 plus savings, depending on the cost of your system. So, yeah, if any of you reach out to me after November 1st, obviously we're going to be talking about the 22% federal tax credit numbers and not 26% any longer, because I can't, for construction to start, you need some leeway and some time. And right now it's, we have two months left of the year, which is wild. And if you do wait until next year, to go solar, don't wait till summertime. Start the process in the, in the spring, if not sooner. Then you will be guaranteed to capture the largest production of solar energy, which is the summertime. And depending on where you live and what your longitude or your latitude is to the, sun and the equator and everything, sorry, your latitude line, where you're at on Earth, the sun hours are the longest in the summertime, obviously. And so the vast majority of your production actually starts kind of in this like mid to late spring, it's like this, a big curve. I guess I should go like this. It's a big curve like that. And this is summertime. So we're hitting that time where people don't think about it into the summer, and then it's too late, and they've missed out on that summer of amazing solar production. So if you wait till next year, or even, you can start it now, there's no reason not to start it. The other benefit of waiting until now and until the end of winter time is, obviously you have weather to think about, if it's going to rain or whatnot. But it's the solar companies that are they're called EPCs. The solar installation companies are probably not going to be as slammed. Last year, the problem that we ran into is roofing companies were booked out, 3-4 months down the road, and they weren't able to re-roof in time for fast enough to get solar installed, or, not fast enough, but it would delay the solar installation process because people thought about re-roofing when they needed solar. So just be thinking about these things. Think about, gosh, if I have 5 years, I should go talk to my neighbor across the street because their roof, I know, is needing to be replaced. And a re-roof is, a big chunk of change. But if you tie it in with solar, we have solutions, financial solutions that will make it affordable and make it, reasonable in terms of doing it together along with the tax credit. Is just kind of to me, it's a smart way of doing some home improvements that are going to add value and save you money at the end of the day, because solar saves money. That's just the truth. But be starting to think about those things, because you don't want to wait until summertime when it's the peak of demand, because that's just how it works. So that's all I wanted to talk about. I don't really have anything else to say, except for if you're going solar and you want to make a decision in the next couple of days, make that decision. Don't delay. You're welcome, Justin. Thanks for commenting and listening and watching. And if you're watching this and you want to share it out to anybody that's considering solar and they've thought about this tax credit and they've thought about how to save more on their energy costs, that tax credit is a big chunk of the savings. So happy Tuesday. Have a wonderful day. And message. Oh, here. If you're residential and you want to reach out to me, here's my email address, jamie@jamiegreenthesolarqueen.com. And then if you're a commercial, a business owner, you can reach out at jamie@excelsiorsolar.com. And that is all. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thanks. Bye-bye.